Okay, Nico. I know you're here. Oh, there you are. I guess we have some visa news. Everybody likes it.
Not here. Hello everyone. So don't worry, there is not that much that has changed for you guys specifically, but there has been a few changes that I need to talk about, especially because I know this conference are filmed and then put on the YouTube channel. It may be interesting for some people that are still overseas planning to come back to know about these things. So I'm going to touch two things. Recently, banks have refused for a lot of people to open new bank accounts if you are on a tourist status. This has been really problematic for some people that were planning to come here as a tourist to then change their visa status to be either retirement or spouse, because the application of the visa requires you to have a bank account and money to get the visa. So you see the loop you're in, it's like you need the visa to open a bank account, you need a bank account to open the visa. So at this point it's a bit problematic. So what I would recommend for the people that are not yet in the country is to apply for either retirement visa or spouse visa via the Thai embassies before coming to Thailand. Even if it's a short-term visa, like a 3 months non-immigrant or retirement or family visa, once you're here, that will allow you to open a bank account and then continue on the process to get the 1-year extension or other things. So I know it doesn't really affect most of you because you already all have long-term visas. But that's something that I thought some people would like to know. So if you have friends or family or people you know that are planning to come here and settle here and they need some information or advice about this, they can contact us. I will be happy to share all the information about the type of visa they can apply for, etc., etc. The second thing that I need to talk about that may affect some of you is the US, so it's for US passport holder mainly. The US embassy and consulates are now refusing to certify, or to let you write an affidavit about your marital status or birth certificate, usually for people that follow their spouse visa, or for people that have kids in international school and they follow their kids as a guardian. You need to prove the relationship, and it's usually done with a copy of the birth certificate or marriage certificate, along with an affidavit that you usually get from the US consulate, where you just declare those information to be true, and then we use that for the visa extension of the dependent, right, of the person that is following the spouse or the kid. Since they stopped that, we do not know yet if it's going to be temporary, because I know the US consulates here in Chiang Mai has planned to move to a different location. So we don't know yet if it's just a temporary thing and they're going to do it again after they settle things down at the new location, or if it's something that is just permanent. And in that case, they did provide some information for the few people that went to the consulate thinking that they're going to be able to do it. And that was unfortunately similar to what the British people have to do in this situation. The document is to be certified in the US. So there are few steps that we need to do via the Department of States and then via the Thai embassy in the US. Right? So this is a bit, if you have your visa and very soon, let's say within a month or so, please contact your visa agent about how you're going to deal with this situation. If it's further away, I will suggest that anyone that is planning a trip in the US, for see family or for anything else, take advantage of that trip to get this done if you need to. Right? Again, this may not affect a lot of you here in this room because you all have your own retirement visa or business visa, but there are few people that are a couple and the spouse has the retirement visa or the business visa, and one of the spouse follow their, and they will need this to get the visa renewed or apply for. And unfortunately, if you're already here in Thailand, that's problematic, right? So for those of you who've got the certificate from last year, keep a copy. We're going to try on a case-to-case basis with the immigration officer to use that for the next extension, because we're going to try to explain, like, you know, they need to go to the US, it's not done like this. So if you have a copy of the last year certificate, then we can try to do something with the immigration, right? So that's all I have for today. If any one of you have any question about your personal situation, I'm happy to answer them, you know, at the table we have over there, or to come to the office anytime, email, phone, anything, right? So I don't know if anyone has any question now.
What's the duration of a tourist visa now? Is it 30 days or 45?
The visa exempt, when you arrive without any visa, it's now 30 days that you can extend for 30 days at the local immigration.
And is that enough time to get your old visa?
Well, like I said, the problem with that situation is that if you arrive with that visa, you will not be allowed to open a bank account.
Oh, I already have a bank account.
If you already have, then no problem. That's more than enough time to get the visa. Yes. Worst case, we get the 30-day extension on that, so that's a total of 60 days, which is more than enough time to get things done.
Is there any truth in the rumor being circulated that the 800,000 will be lifted to a million?
Not that I know
What rumor?
of. The rumor was like, is it true that the immigration or the government going to raise the requirements for the retirement visa from 800,000 to 1 million baht? That was the question, and I didn't hear anything about that at all.
How many months before we get the retirement visa, the 800,000 baht have to be in the bank account? Because sometimes we hear 6 months, sometimes we hear 4 months. Do you know exactly really how many months?
So for that, whatever is the first time application or the extension, the rule is that you need to have the money in the account for 2 months before you intend to renew. So it's not exactly 2 months from the expiry date of your visa. It's 2 months from the date that you plan to go to immigration to get it done. So let's say, you know, for the example, the visa expires on the 31st of December, but you want to get your visa done before, and you want to go, let's say, on the 15th of December instead. The money needs to be in the account 2 months prior to the 15th of December. All right? That is the rule about the money before. Then they also, the new rule, that this was like a year or so ago, you also need to keep the money in the account for 3 months after the visa was done. Again, not from the time that the visa expires, but from the time that you went to immigration to get the stamp, right? This is very important because a lot of people are you know, not aware or they don't know and they think they did everything right. You only find out about this the next year. When you are going to get your new visa, they will check 12 months record of your bank account, and they will see then that you didn't keep the money for the, you know, for the right period of time. Then you can have problem about your visa extension. And I will just one more thing. After the 3 months, you can use some of the money, but you should never let your bank account balance go under 400,000 the whole time, right? So then again, the cycle repeats, and 2 months before the next extension, if you did take some of that money, you need to put it back up to 800,000. Right? This is specific to retirement visa. It's not the same for marriage visa or spouse visa or family visa.
So it is not 6 months, as I heard, before
It's
3 months,
not
3
6
months
months.
ago.
No.
Thank you.
How does it work if you mix pension and cash balance?
I couldn't hear the first part.
Okay, how does it work if you mix pension and bank balance?
Okay, so this is it works only if your embassy is able to provide what before the U.S. embassy was able to provide the affidavits, income affidavits. So if your embassy is able to provide what we call the income verification letter or anything like that, then you can use what we call the combination method. So that means you have, let's say, $1,000 in pension and the rest in a Thai bank account. Well, you need to calculate. It's based on 800,000. So let's say you have $1,000 income every month. You multiply that by 12 in baht, of course. So it's like a 35 by 12, and then you deduct that from 800,000. That tells you how much money you need to have in your Thai bank the whole year. There is no, after 2 months, after 2 months. This, in that situation, it's like the whole year, the same amount of money needs to be in the account. I also suggest that you put a bit more because of the exchange rate. So if you send every month $1,000, but then the dollar goes down a bit, then the calculation is not correct anymore. So you need always to have a bit more than what you originally planned to. I hope that answered the question.
So the U.S. no longer is providing this information to the Thai government? If I wanted to have my Social Security information sent, it's not possible?
No, unfortunately, you can get your Social Security sent to your Thai bank account. That's not the problem. The problem is the embassy is not delivering a certification of your income to use for the visa. So in those cases, when your embassy cannot do that, the way you do it is to deposit really at least 65,000 baht per month in your Thai bank account every month. The money is not locked in any way. It just needs to hit the account every month, and then you use it for whatever you want, pay your rent. You can even send some or part or all the money back. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it hits the account every month. After 1 year, we will show a 12-month record of the bank account with a statement, and we will see, okay, you got 65,000 baht per month for the whole 12-month period. That's how you get your visa. This completely replaces the needs to have 800,000 baht in the bank. So it's not 800,000 and income. It's one or the other. But you have to be careful about this. You cannot switch in the middle of the year, because if you use the 800,000 to get your visa, and after 5 months you say, well, I don't want to keep this, I want to switch to income, you should wait until the next visa renewal to start this. Because otherwise you're not going to qualify for any method. If you're going to say you remove the 800,000 when you should not have, and you don't have enough records of monthly income in your bank to get the next visa. So it's very important to stick with one method, at least for the, if you started your yearly visa with that method, stick to it. If you want to change, it's okay. Just do it the next time. So at the moment, this situation is for the US, the UK and Australia, the Danish, and there are a few others that the embassy now refuse to or cannot do this income verification letter. But there are many embassies still doing it. Italian, German, French, Swiss. They have different way to obtain it. So you may need to provide your tax return, or you may need to provide bank account to the authorities for them to deliver it. But they do deliver it. If they do, you do the same as the income. You do not need at all to have a bank account or 800,000 baht in the bank. You can use that document as a way to renew your visa or to apply for it every year.
Anybody else have a question?
Let's just talk about the pension instead of 800,000 baht. Actually, the amount is the amount for when you are a couple for one person, or it covers both. I mean, we need to have, I think, 65,000 baht or something like that.
So the amount 65,000 baht monthly is per person. but you can have your spouse be on a dependent visa, and then that person doesn't need to have any financial requirements for their visa because they follow their spouse. That's also the reason I talked today about the US not being able to certify the relationship between people, because that's going to be a problem. If you are a dependent on your spouse that has a retirement visa, if you don't have that document, technically you cannot follow your spouse visa. But otherwise, there is no financial requirements for a person who is a dependent, nor the 800,000 baht, nor the 65. Right?
That's enough actually.
So, but if you have your own retirement visa, even as a couple, you can decide also to both get your own retirement visa because it's better for you. Then you both need to have the financial requirements.
Thank you.
Also, I just one more thing that I'm going to address, because I've been asked this a few times already today. I hear, a lot of people are asking, well, I see that online, this information, and it should work like this, it should be like that. And I just want you to be aware that all the information that you find online, they may be true, but keep in mind that this person may have done their visa in Phuket, or in Bangkok, or in Hua Hin, or anything like that, like another place. And all the rules are not the same depending on where you are. So you may see in a forum somewhere like, well, I went to my visa agent or my immigration in Phuket and I did that and I provided this and it works perfectly, I got my visa, I'm super happy, and you read that thinking like, yeah, well, that's the way, but it may not be. I'm not saying it's necessarily not the case, but it may not be exactly the same way that you do things here that you do in another place. So just be careful about what you find online. Better to contact a visa agent that are in the area where you live and get the proper information from them, or directly at the immigration, or at least find forums that are native, like the CBC, the Chiang Mai Expats Club, that will actually provide information that are relevant about the region that you live in. That's it.